on? Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. What is happening, my beautiful people? It's your girl, Linda S. Hudson, the Bodacious Lifestyle Coach, coming to you live and direct because that's what I do. I like coming to you live and direct, especially when I have exciting news. And on this Thanksgiving evening, I hope you had a phenomenal Thanksgiving. I know I did. I hung out with three of the most precious people in the world to me, myself, and I. Yes, I spent Thanksgiving with myself, not by myself, but with myself. I had an opportunity, of course, to go visit and eat lots of delicious food, but I decided that since I wasn't, I didn't go home because I have something going on tomorrow, and it just didn't make sense to go home and turn around and come right back. Actually, I wouldn't even have been able to come right back because I needed to be coming back to Atlanta today. Excuse me. But anywho, I hope you all had a phenomenal Thanksgiving. And I know I did. Boy, when you can just really be comfortable with who you are, right? That is a beautiful place to be. I don't know what is going on with my throat. But when you can be comfortable in the skin that you are in and march to your own drum beat and blaze your own trail, that's what's up. That is where you really want to be in your life. So that's what I did for this Thanksgiving. But I also want to talk about my anthology, of course, because I've been talking about it a lot. And if you haven't heard about it, honey, let me tell you, this anthology is going to be fire. Number one, it is definitely going to be fire. Number two, if you are a Black woman over 50 and you have found yourself really reinventing yourself during this latter stage of your life, then this is a perfect opportunity for you to share your story, not only with me, but with other like-minded Black women who need that gentle kick in the pants, who need to be reminded that just because we are women of a certain age, that does not mean that we're just laying down. It doesn't mean that we don't have any spunk. It doesn't mean that we're not valid, valuable, vibrant, or vivacious. It just means that we are of age. That is all that it means. And so, coming to you today, I want to talk about. I've been getting a lot of questions, a lot of questions about, number one, for those of you who have never written a book, lots of questions about how does this work? Do you just submit your story? What kind of story is it? I've been getting tons of questions. So I thought that it would be good for me to come on and share with you exactly how does this process work. Well, actually, I'm not going to share with you exactly how it works. What I want to share with you is that I have a way where you can speak with me one-on-one and get your specific questions answered. So there is a link in the description that tells you how you can speak to me, and it's called a book anthology interest meeting, right? And when you click on that link, it's going to take you to my calendar. And on that calendar, you're going to pick the day and the time that works for you. These are 15-minute book interest meetings. We'll meet on Zoom. So just write your questions down, have your questions already prepared so that you can maximize this time, right? And then I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to answer your questions because, oh my gosh, it has been a tremendous response. And I'm only taking 20 women, 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 women. And I really would love for one of those women to be you. It would be wonderful if one of those women was you. So who is the woman who would be the perfect fit for this anthology? It is a woman who is now of a certain age, so that's 50 and above, a Black woman, 50 and above. That is the first criteria. The second criteria is I want your story if you have found yourself in a space and in a place as you've gotten older, that you've gotten bolder, that you are making some major moves now that you are a woman of a certain age, because a lot of times they try to make it seem like we only dream, we only do, we only act, we only implement when we're younger. But I was like, no, 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 no. If I was able to move from California myself after 45 years during the height of the pandemic, October 2020, move to Atlanta, and shift the whole trajectory of my life, right? Then I know that there's other people who have made major moves, not only figuratively, right? I don't mean that you have to literally move somewhere. I'm just talking about making some major strides, some major shifts in your life, some major changes in your life. That is what I am talking about. So if you have made some major shifts in your life, you've reinvented yourself, you have stop doing things like the regular way, and now you just marching to your own drum beat and blazing your own trail. I want to hear from you. So again, like I said, I've been getting a ton of questions. And so I said, you know what, let me go live and let people know that we could actually have a one-on-one conversation, you and me. And again, I want you to bring your questions. I want you to ask me whatever it is that you want to ask, because for some of you, this will be your first time as an author. So if you've never written a book or never been a part of an anthology, because you will have to write your chapter, right? We're going to take care of everything else, the publishing, the formatting, the cover, the editing, the marketing. We're going to do all of that. So all you have to be responsible for is your actual chapter. But again, if you've never written a book, right, then this is all new to you. It doesn't mean that you can't be a part of this anthology, and it doesn't mean that your story isn't valid and isn't needed. It just means that I want to give you the opportunity to talk to me one-on-one, which is what this book interest meeting is all about. So if you click that link below where it talks about the book interest meeting, you will be taken to my calendar, and I have 15-minute spots allocated for each person who wants to get further information about the anthology, or you just have questions. So just write your questions down so that when you come to your meeting, you're getting the maximum amount of your time. You don't want to spend like 10 minutes trying to figure out what you want to ask me, right? If you already have those questions written down, then we can just breeze through the meeting. But again, just to give you a sense of what I'm looking for and who I'm looking for that seasoned woman of a certain age who has made some major moves in her life after 50. So for me, a major move that I made after 50 was moving from California to Atlanta. Basically, I stopped doing hair after 30 years. You know, hair is rough. Hair can be taxing on the body because you're standing in one place for hours and hours at a time. So after 30 years, my hands starting to cramp up, the varicose veins, the sore feet. I made a major move to Atlanta, and I started coaching full time. I was doing it part-time and trying to do hair in Cali, but once I moved here, I was doing it full-time. Now, so the type of stories I'm looking for is like a story like that, someone who moved from a place that they've been in forever to pursue a different career, start their own business. For me, it was to life coach full-time, as well as another major thing that happened in my life after 50. At 60, I actually graduated with my AA from Strayer University, and I had never graduated from high school. A lot of people didn't know that. It's not like I was ashamed of it. Well, low key I was. But because I'm articulate, because I can, communicate effectively, a lot of people, I think, just assumed I had graduated, right? And so those are two major things that happened, within 2 years, like one at 58 moving to Atlanta, and then at 60 getting my AA. So those are the type of stories that I'm looking for. I'm looking for stories where you just made a major shift, a major transformation in your life after 50. And I'm coming on here tonight because I want you to know that if you've got questions, if you want to talk to me one-on-one, you can do that. And there's a link right there in the description that talks about the book interest meeting. Just click on that link. It's going to take you to my calendar. You will be able to schedule your 15-minute book interest meeting session. We will meet on Zoom. I love Zoom because I want to look in your eyes. And it's just good to see people. So if you feel like, you know what, I do believe that this is something that I can wrap my head around. I've always wanted to be an author. Or you feel like, okay, Linda, I got a story that I would like to share, because the reason why I'm doing this, y'all, is I really believe that there are a lot of Black women over 50 who are sitting on some incredible gifts, some incredible talents. And because society has a way of making us feel like once you're a certain age and at a certain stage of your life, that you're supposed to downshift, that a lot of people are just sitting, like I said, on incredible gifts and talents. They have incredible stories to tell. They've made some tremendous strides in their life after 50, and yet they're not feeling encouraged and inspired to really get out there and really crush this thing called life, simply because stereotypically and we're programmed a lot and conditioned that we're supposed to start downshifting in life after a certain age. And I'm here to say, do not allow age to rob you of your dreams, your desires, or your destiny. You still have juice. There's still so much more inside of you. There's still so much more to this thing called life. And that is what this book is going to really showcase. It's going to showcase dynamic, phenomenal Black women over 50 who are still doing their thing, who actually have started to accelerate after being a certain age, right? Who have not slowed down at all, who, realize that, hey, wait a minute, there's more years behind me than in front of me. So I need to figure out what am I going to really do with the rest of these years I have left. So if that is you, come on through. Let's have a conversation. Schedule your book interest meeting with me on Zoom. Bring your questions so I can answer, because I need to make sure that this is a good fit for you, because you may have a story that's really not the type of story that, would be a fit for this anthology. It doesn't mean that your story isn't a great story, but we got to make sure that your story is a good fit for this anthology, which is about aging with excellence, which is about, reinventing yourself after 50 is really what this is all about, which is why it's called Boldly Beyond 50, a Black woman's guide to aging with excellence. Because if we're going to get older anyway, we might as well do it excellently. Right? We want to get older with joy and happiness and peace. We don't want to be depressed because we're getting older, or feeling depressed because there were so many moves that we should have made when we were younger that we didn't make. And then now that we're older, we think that we still can't make them. Like, that's not true at all. You can flip the script. You can change just like that. You don't even have to get ready to change. You can just decide that today is the day that I'm going to change, and just like that, change. So again, I'm excited about this anthology, Boldly Beyond 50, a Black woman's guide to aging with excellence, because it is time for the Black woman over 50 to be celebrated and not just tolerated. We are not going to wait for society, for the status quo, for societal norms to catch up with us. We're going to create our own platform. We're going to give ourselves our own, hey, Trish, we're going to give ourselves our own flowers. So if you are a Black woman over 50 and you have a story of transformation or a significant change that just took you to a whole different level after 50, this is the anthology for you. Because again, 20 women, 20 stories about leveling up after 50, about stepping your game up after 50, not letting age define you, but letting it refine you. And there is a tremendous difference. Letting it refine you, not define you. So if you would love to have a one-on-one with me in regards to the book, to make sure that this is a good fit for you, that your story would fit, just click that link. It says speak to Linda, book interest meeting. Click that link. It's going to take you to my calendar. And you can get on the calendar for your 15 minutes, but have your questions already write your questions down, y'all, because what I don't want you to do is waste your time during this session trying to figure out what it is that you want to ask me, because that 15 minutes can go really quickly. And 15 minutes is really enough time to get your questions answered, to share with me, somewhat your story. It doesn't have to be all written down or anything. You know what your story is. Like if I were to do this book, if someone had an anthology and it was called Boldly Beyond 50, A Black Woman's Guide to Aging with Excellence, the story that I would tell, which is a true story, is the story of how I graduated with my AA in September of this year at the age of 60, having not graduated from high school. Like that was one of the things that I wanted to do. I kept telling myself that, oh, I don't need that. I'm still intelligent. I'm still smart. But at the end of the day, what I did miss was the ceremony. I missed that. I missed walking across the stage. I missed the cap and the gown. I missed being around a whole bunch of other people who were like, yay, and excited about graduating. I had to get honest with myself and admit to myself that, yeah, this piece of paper doesn't make you smart. It doesn't make you better. But it was a ceremony that I did want to take part in. And now that I've got my AA, right, at 60, I'm continuing on with my education and I want to get that bachelor's. So that is the story. Those are the type of stories that I want for this anthology, where you really did something significant. You really came into your own. You really transformed. You really shifted your life. Stories like that. So if that is something that you're like, okay, Linda, I want to be a part of this, whether it is you've already been an author, if this is your first time being an author, it is okay. And the cool part about anthologies, y'all, is you don't have to worry about the whole book. You don't have to worry about publishing, editing, formatting, any of that stuff. We take care of all of that. Me and my team would take care of all of that. So you bring the story. It'll be like 2,000 to 2,500 words. And we need two professional photos, your bio, and we got you. We're going to teach you how to format your story. You know what I'm saying? So if you've never written a story or a book, don't worry about that. We got you. Yes, Trish, definitely share this. And also, you know what? Let me put this on here too. They can go to agingwithexcellencebook.com. Or you could give them, Trish, give them the link that is also there as well. You learned being certified is really needed in these times, moving forward with or without a significant. Absolutely. Absolutely. It really is. Because that's really what people go by, right? Certificates. Now, you could be dumb as a bag of rocks, but if you've got that piece of paper, it shows them that you were disciplined enough to go through with the process, to see the process through. Really, degrees and certificates and diplomas and those things, I don't feel like they are a representation of your intelligence, but they are a representation of you hanging in there and carrying the process all the way through. And there is something to be said for that, most definitely. So again, the anthology, Boldly Beyond 50, A Black Woman's Guide to Aging with Excellence. This book is really going to be like chicken soup for the Black woman over 50 soul. It is going to be one of many books. This is the founder's book. So if this is something that you really want to be a part of, listen, let's have a conversation. I don't want you to think, oh, I don't know if I could write. We got you. We got you. Come with the idea. We're going to show you how to take that out of your head and put it on paper. If you have a unique experience that happened to you after 50, just share that, because this book is really about changing the game of aging. This book is about showing other Black women over 50 that it's not over really until we're dead. As long as you're breathing, you can be achieving. As long as you're alive, you can thrive. Point blank, period. So again, There is the agingwithexcellencebook.com, which will take you to the actual page where you can learn more about it. If you want to have a one-on-one with me just to make sure that this is a good fit for you, you can also do that as well. And with that, I think that should do it. That should do it. If you've got any questions, you could hit me up, send me a message. You can also comment interested, and I will follow up with you. But most of this is really going to be about either going to the agingwithexcellencebook.com site or clicking the link and scheduling your one-on-one with me and taking it from there. And even if this isn't something that you want to do, if you know a dynamic Black woman, not saying you're not dynamic, but you just might not want to do it, right? Then share this information with them. The either agingwithexcellencebook.com or the link where they could schedule their one-on-one time with me, their book interest meeting time with me. Either way, it's a win-win, because whether you want to do this book or you know another dynamic Black woman over 50 who you think would be interested in this book, just share the love, because we don't know which story read by what woman could be a game changer and a life changer for them. That's my whole purpose. I have found my purpose. I know that my purpose is to uplift, empower, and inspire and motivate Black women over 50. So whether it be in a book form, in a coaching form, one-on-one coaching, or a group coaching format, it's all good. It is all good. So I want to leave you with that, Queens. I want to leave you with that. Thank you so much for your time. Hope today was a phenomenal Thanksgiving day for you. And I will see you on the other side. Peace.